Now, the National Assembly Speaker, Justin Muturi, has directed the House Transport Committee to collect more views from key players in the planned merger of the loss-making Kenya Airways with profit-making Kenya Airports Authority to prevent a possible court case. Several members of parliament claim there was a scheme to sneak in the contentious National Aviation Management Bill 2020 that seeks to nationalize Kenya Airways without adequate public participation.
The National Aviation Management Bill is meant to give effect to the recommendations of the parliamentary report on the inquiry into the Kenya Airways privately initiated investment proposal to Kenya Airports Authority after Parliament approved the nationalization of Kenya Airways. The bill was tabled in the National Assembly on June 30th, 2020 for the first reading. Members claimed there was inadequate public participation from stakeholders.
Law Society of Kenya, which is an act of parliament, says that they have not had a participation on an issue such as this.
Here I have transaction advisors report which the committee had no access to up to date. A report by the Kenya Airports Authority, valuation report, very important. The committee had no access to this report even a single day.
Key stakeholders were denied opportunity to appear. The report was consummated, discussed in a record 2 to 3 hours.
The Transport Committee had prepared a report on the bill to guide debate during the second reading. The bill proposes to establish the Kenya Aviation Corporation as a holding entity to run KQ and KAA.
Ili bunge lisiwe ambalo litatumika, Bwana Spika, kwa tunatengeza sheria baadaye kuonekana ya kwa zile sheria zilijaribu kupitishwa kimabavu.
How are we going to deal with the question of the individual shareholders? How are we dealing with the question of commercial banks that had lent money to KQ and are owed billions? And those billions, Honorable Speaker, then we might use the assets of KAA and other public institutions to offset those debts.
If you look at that report, there's no merger. KQ has shares as much as KAA has shares. They are different entities, Honorable Speaker.
So that at the committee stage, you can bring all those amendments. Then we have an act of parliament by this House.
Of late, a fundamental amendment that comes at the committee of the whole House, the courts have been rejecting it.
To prevent a possible court battle, the Speaker gave the committee 3 days to engage key players in the sector.
The Merchant Shipping Act, which you passed here, was successively challenged. The matter is pending in the Court of Appeal. The issue was there was not sufficient public participation. So I think it is only fair for us to avoid a situation in which we could be said to be acting in vain.
Let's head to Western Kenya, where sugarcane farmers are